we are where we are, and we have an idea of where we want to go. Whether, some sort of goal, right? And whether it's work or relationships, right, or a hobby, we set our sights, right? That's our
Yep.
aim, and we journey over there, and it turns out to be whatever it is, and then something else happens, and we're like, okay, now I'm going to go try that goal, and we go back over here,
Yeah.
and it's never, you're never just there. It's motion. We're always in motion. That's how I think of it. And like the only
Sure.
thing I can think of is that creates that figure eight
Yep.
because we're never in balance.
Right.
Um,
I think that's important to recognize and just remember.
Yeah. I mean, if we are, it's for a blink of an eye, I would think.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. I usually ask you, what are we going to talk about?
Yes, you do.
Because you tend to have the idea. But this time, we're going to roll with something I've been thinking of.
Yep.
Or something that popped into my head. And then we'll see where that goes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, we've been busy.
Yes.
Relaxing. But also working hard to relax and be with family, right?
I was relaxing. Have we been relaxing?
Exactly. So.
In a good way, though.
Yep. Thanksgiving in Wisconsin, and lots of family, and all that good stuff. I have a cold.
Yes.
You're probably getting a cold.
I hope I'm not.
The kids have colds, which is my guess is that's where we got it from. But then all the nephews are school age, so who knows? Where it came from, right?
Right.
Not blaming them, but I'm going to be clearing my throat a little bit and trying to edit it out. But yeah, it's one of those things where I guess in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I need a vacation from the vacation.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to the week then?
Yeah.
Get back into a routine?
Yeah, actually, and that's me, right? Like,
yeah.
Don't mess up my routine. Like,
yeah.
Like, how dare you, holiday? Like, don't get to do what I'm used to doing, right? But as we've talked about, like, it's good for me to branch out and not be so strict, right?
Right.
And take time to enjoy the things. That is kind of what's on my mind in a way. Like, we say, going in between here and there. And like, that's the work. Like, that's the real work. Like,
right.
The real work of getting together with family was getting everything prepped, getting everything ready, and having enough chairs, or who's bringing what, and cleaning up this, wherever we were at, or whoever was hosting, right? And like us having people over to do some of your family traditions, right? And so that, like, we say that going in between, and that liminal space is what people say, and it sounds really fancy, and that's
liminal space.
Yep. So that's like all it really means.
I don't know if I've heard that before.
It just means in between.
Okay.
And that's what we're talking about a lot, right? With everything is okay. Work is over here, and now I have to come home and I have to do this. And when there is an appropriate amount of going back and forth, it feels a little bit like tension. And we're balancing it, and we're making trade-offs and showing up. And when it starts to be more of, well, I can't trade off and I can't switch and I have to keep working, right? Or like, sometimes in my case, it's the opposite. It's like I don't have the motivation to do something, right? And I put it off. So I like that's like the depressive end of burnout, right?
Right.
Like, it's like, you're kind of like in a sinkhole, versus when you're not stopping to relax and to have a holiday. You can get that burnout, right? And that's stress, right? That's that negative moving constantly, where you don't get to replenish your energy, right?
Right.
So that was kind of on my mind, because I do feel a little worn out, and it's probably because I have a cold.
Probably doesn't help. Right?
No.
Yeah.
It snowed.
It did. So you've been shoveling.
So I've been shoveling, which has actually been helpful. It's like, it's like, I'm not happy about having to go shovel.
Yeah.
But I feel a little better after I do, like, get a little activity,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, I'm like, Mother Nature is dictating to me now, like, hey,
Yeah.
like, I keep saying I want to get more active and get some steps, and now I get to get steps, almost slip and fall a bunch, and lift heavy snow.
Some balance and some
Yeah.
extra
Yeah. So it's like I'm working harder because
challenge there.
of the weather, so winter's in full swing. So anyway, like that's just what came to me as like, I'm like, okay, I'm really looking forward to getting back into doing work because I somewhat know what that entails.
Yeah.
Versus like having to deal with, I don't know if it's like getting tired trying to just relax.
Well, I think a lot of what we were doing was so I know my sister was visiting from Seattle. And so sometimes when she's here, we try and pack in as much as we can. Um, just because it's fun to do things together instead of over Zoom, even though technology is great and you can do a lot. Um, it did end up being um, a really packed time. So like on Wednesday, my mom and I made pies for quite a bit of the day, and we hung out that night. Then Thursday was Thanksgiving, and we were at your family's all day where we brought some of the pies. And then on Friday, we were at my parents' and we brought some of, well, I brought one of the pies because my mom's the pie baker extraordinaire. So
you also made homemade mac and cheese.
oh, yep. I made homemade the baked mac and cheese. So good. But then we also had a talent show. So in my family, we do a talent show on Thanksgiving. And we've been doing that since I was really small. But this year, it was just a little bit more because we needed to make sure child 2 had his amp with because he was going to do some electric guitar pieces, right? And he needed to amplify the sound and make sure child 1 felt comfortable with what he was doing. And so it was just, it was fun, but there's preparation to it, like you were saying. And then on Saturday, my sister was flying out with her family, but we decided to do Lefse making in person, which is a family tradition. We almost always do it on Zoom because it just doesn't work out that we can fit it in, but we fit it in and did, 9 dozen Lefse. And so we were, doing that from 10 until 5 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock at night. So today I know that you probably were worn out, even just kind of being party to that.
I get tired just watching you all.
Yeah. And I know I was tired. And then this morning I was thinking, gosh, I got to get the Christmas tree up. And so, because if I don't do it now, we're going to the Packers Bears game next weekend, and then it will be like 2 weeks before Christmas. And so, I grabbed both kids. I'm like, come on, I need you to help me for 30 minutes. And so they moved all the things where the tree normally goes and, like the rowing machine and stuff like that, got that out of the way for me. And so we put that up this morning too. So by the time football hit, I think I fell asleep in the chair for 2 hours. So I understand what you're saying, that you need a kind of a vacation from vacation or a return back to normalcy,
Yeah, you definitely fell
Right.
asleep for a little bit.
I did. And there's one time, child 2, I kind of woke up or stirred a little bit, and he goes, "Good morning, Ma." And I kind of looked at
You're
him,
like, oh,
and I shut my eyes again. I went right back to bed. I was like, I don't think I can do it.
try not to make eye contact with you while you're napping because you'll go right back.
Yep.
if you get startled or
I'll just,
or stir a little.
yep. I heard you even, and I sleep through everything. I woke up a little. I'm like, oh, he's doing dishes. I know he's cooking. He's, but yeah, all the lights in the house were on for some reason. I woke up. I'm like, why is that light on? It's never on.
Because it's only 3:30 in the afternoon, and I want it to feel like it's daytime.
Yeah,
and we don't get that much sunlight.
I know. And so anyway, but yeah, I definitely took a power nap.
Yeah.
And the recliner.
And so, not to complain, right? We're not complaining about it, but taking note, because the other part of that, and you kind of hit on it and may help me remember my note. I didn't remember that we were doing a talent show. I kind of knew the kids were talking about it at one point, but I hadn't heard them talk about it in a while.
Sure.
And so we got there and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing anything. And that's okay. Like, I don't always do anything. I don't really like it. Like, I think your dad asked. I'm like, no, nothing. He's like, okay. And
they
then,
know.
And so then I was helping Child 2 set up his amp. Well, my amp that I kind of let him use.
You're being a stage dad.
Yeah. I was being his roadie.
His roadie. Yep.
But that's what I do. Like, that's my talent, is supporting and helping him or other people. Like, I mean, our kids for sure, and you. Like, my mission is to be supportive and like to create access for the things that you all want to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think, why we talk about the things that we talk about too, right? And like, we're trying to build things so that we can help people go in between, right? To get back to that and get from where they are to where they want to be.
Yeah.
And like, while we were setting up the guitar and the amp and stuff, and I was like, oh, do you want me to hold this? Do you want me to do this? And I think at one point your dad's like, oh, Keith, do you have anything? Are you going to do anything? I'm like, there's my talent right here. He's getting his guitar on, Yeah. Like, that's enough for me. So, yeah. So it just kind of it's just kind of cyclical of like, I want to be able to go in between these either stressful or tense moments where I'm maybe feeling like I haven't taken enough time to like refill my cup.
Yeah.
So that I can help other people get to where they want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a balancing act, and just the fact that we were just living life this last week and it was a little different than my regular routine.
Sure.
Just highlighted how much I want to make sure I'm focusing on that, right? And like, we talk about, self-care and well-being, and we're almost always, every other time we're talking about gotta get in shape, is like my thing, and get more movement and stuff, but it's in service of something. And for me, I like being in service of others. But I also need to make sure I'm not depleting myself, right? And giving myself that time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am looking forward to getting back to a routine, so that maybe that frees up some of my brain space. So that I can do the next thing the next time,
Right.
because more holidays are coming. So, and maybe I can like reflect on it and figure out like, okay, where can I do prep sooner for certain things, and, I'll just kind of stay at it. But I don't know, that's just kind of where I'm at. And it's been kind of a short week because of that stuff, but like, it wouldn't trade it for anything. It's nice, just being with family and playing games and letting people like show off a talent or variety show or whatever.
Yeah, I think we decided it was a variety show, right?
Yeah. Well, I think somebody said, they're like, well, Child 2, he definitely put the talent in the talent show. And I'm like, yeah. So I was really impressed with how he showed up, and he practiced really hard.
He did.
So that was a proud papa moment for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he did a really great job.
Yeah.
For sure. As we're looking at kind of where we're headed over the next several weeks, something I've been thinking about, because I think there's going to be that constant tension, and not tension in a bad way, but tension in I know for me, I have things that I want to do because I really like tradition. I really like being able to be free and doing things with family. And so I know one thing that I, hell or high water, am going to fit in. Sorry, should I not have said that?
No, it's fine. I always think it's funny when you get a little crass.
Ooh, you get a little like, ooh. No, but one thing that I am definitely going to make sure that we fit in is gingerbread house making.
Oh, right. With the graham crackers.
With the graham crackers, with your mom. So it's always been this tradition that we do. And I think we talked about last year.
I mean, it's been about a decade?
It's been over a decade.
Really?
Well, maybe it has just been a decade.
I mean, not just. I mean, it's...
Yeah, but I mean, and it's not just like we're going to take little milk cartons and like royal cement sides on them and a couple like peppermint things. We go all out. I don't know what I'm going to do this year. Can't even remember what I did last year.
I mean, we try to take pictures, but...
Oh, I did a doll horse last year.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I think you did like a Tiffany lamp the year before, it seemed like.
Yeah, a gnome house.
Yeah.
Like a big Tiffany mushroom.
It looked like a Tiffany lamp, or that's what you said it looked like. I'm like, oh yeah, it totally looks like...
I've done Lambeau Field. I've done Mount Rushmore. So it's... And child 1, child 2 have fun time. Your mom did a gym one year, right? With barbells made out of like candies and things like that. And you always go really big.
That's like my one trick pony.
Big and elaborate. No, but the structural integrity of some of your creations.
Yeah, don't like you make that royal icing very sturdy once it sets, and so you don't try to like chop it or break it like to get it in the garbage bag. You either put it in the garbage bag and like smash it on the ground on the cement.
Don't break your hand.
Just get it in the garbage can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about those things because we had a weekend full of different traditions. And as we look to next weekend, like I said, we're going to go and cheer on our Packers against I almost said the Cubs, the Bears. Whoa. Don't know where that came from.
Another nap.
I might need another nap. No, but against the Bears. And then the next weekend, I can't remember what's going on. I think we have
You might be traveling or something.
I travel that week, and then I think we have a holiday celebration for one of our families.
Okay.
That's the weekend before. And so we're going to be toggling back and forth. I think like many people are going to, between doing the things and having some stability during the week. But the stability during the week, having the opportunity to try and prepare for the weekends of fitting in what you can.
It starts to creep into maybe, like for me, like my regular routine of like, how do I decompress, or how do I, when I spend 6 to 8 hours editing,
right?
There's only so long I can go listening before my ears start to get sore, or they're not quite attuned to what I'm trying to do, and so I'm trying to adjust for that. But in whatever you do, right, you get tired.
Yeah.
You work a long day at whatever you do. And so you tend to come home and, what do? Do you work out to alleviate the stress of the day? Do you watch a show? Do you read a book? Whatever it is. When that gets interrupted and turned into, I'm prepping for the thing I have to do this weekend, that's where it comes back to, how do you keep that cup from getting too empty? And I mean, it doesn't have to be that big of a deal, but just to be aware that that it's happening. I'm getting better at it, I think, but
sure.
I think with the changing of the weather, it's made it a little more difficult. Like I don't usually, and the cold.
The cold.
Here, I'm like, here's another episode where we're like, oh, we're sick. Yeah, it's just this time this year, it just feels like it snuck up on me kind of quick, and that's fine. Like, getting through it, but
well, and I think this year Thanksgiving was kind of late, and so everything I think is going to feel a little compressed. But
yeah, I get that. What were you saying there?
So I think what I was noticing is there's things that we want to do, or I want to do, and I'm looking forward to doing on the weekends. But that's going to take, I think, some discipline from me during the week of making sure that I'm taking care of myself, that I'm sleeping, that I am honestly getting up. And we talked about journaling a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
That I'm journaling and
So that
working through those thoughts.
That got completely interrupted for me.
Journaling did?
Yeah, because the holiday was during the week.
Yeah.
And that's usually when I journal.
Yep.
So the last entry was last Tuesday.
Actually, that was my last entry too.
Yeah.
Because it is. Yep.
And I wonder why I'm a little tired or out of sorts. It's like, oh, well, that one thing that I do to help ground myself, I haven't done it in 5 days.
You haven't done it. Yeah. I mean, and that is a shift, right? And I know this week I'm looking forward to getting back in to the journaling every morning and movement in the morning. So I've been lifting weights each morning. And so I'm looking forward to get back to that because I was going to do that when I was here for the holidays and I didn't. So I think I said, well, one day I spent all day on my feet doing pies. And one day I spent all day on my feet doing Lefse. And then I had 2 days where it was a holiday, right? And, it's, I think I bargained with myself. And I will say, though, the surest way for me to not show up and do the things I know are going to help ground me this week is by just being frustrated at myself and telling myself, you didn't do it. You didn't show up. You planned it. That's bad. Like you start judging.
Right.
Do you have that judge where it just kind of sits on your shoulder and is just
Have we met?
We have, but
you set me up for that. Yeah. Yeah. So actually what you were just saying about kind of judging yourself but then you kind of said you're bargaining about, it's okay is kind of what I'm picking up from you is like, it's okay I didn't work out because I was standing on my feet. And, some of that is okay because you don't typically do that all day.
Right.
So it's more than you typically do. Because you're stuck in meetings at your desk, which has got its own set of problems, like with your shoulders and stuff like that. Like I'm finding that because I used to be on the other end where I was standing on cement all day, working, bending over, standing for 8 hours at a time and or on my knees, like working on cabinets and this and that. So I was sore in a different way. Now I'm starting to find, I'm sore because I'm on the computer too much. I'm like, this is what Laura's been talking about. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So everybody's got their own things and their own routines. Mm-hmm. And so like I said, having to go shovel, right? I'm kind of like, I got to go shovel. And then I kind of reframed it. Right. And I was like, this is good for me. This is going to get my heart rate up. This is going to get me moving and doing steps, and I'm going to be sweating. And I know I'm not going to be like stuck outside. So it's like, I'm not going to be in danger of getting hypothermia because I'm sweating outside. It's like, no, this is great. Right. You come into a nice warm house afterwards and turn a fan on because you're too hot from being out in the cold, Yeah. Like that's like a pleasure, like people pay for like ice plunges and stuff, and I can just go outside and play in the snow kind of. So I'm just saying I did find myself reframing it, and instead of being upset, it was more of like, I have an opportunity here to do the stuff I say I want to do.
Right.
And so I'm just saying, don't be too hard on yourself, but hold yourself accountable, right?
Right.
And some of that is you can maybe, like kind of give yourself credit for things, right?
Sure.
Whether it's, with giving yourself a star or a sticker or whatever, right? Pat on the back, right?
Yeah. I started putting stars on my calendar.
Yeah.
When I work out in the morning, just to like show myself like, hey, you might think you're not working out enough, but like, look how full your calendar is. So I've been doing that. It's small.
And, maybe you
things like that.
Get a half of a star for you did a lot of work to get the pies and the lefse and the mac and cheese and all that stuff. It like people get paid to do that work. It's not.
That's true.
It's not. It's not like it's nothing. It takes effort. But and I understand though at the same time, and whoever's listening, they're like, all right, you made mac and cheese. It's not, same with me, like shoveling the snow. Like it needs to get done.
Yeah.
So don't need to be like overly hard on yourself.
Right.
And obviously I don't deserve like a treat necessarily for doing it, but it'll help me get on my way to doing more, I guess.
Right.
Even though that's like a little like better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's a delicate balance of holding yourself accountable and being too hard, or not holding yourself to the standard.
Sure.
Too. So
yeah, I mean, I do the bargaining. I like that you picked that out because I do think it wasn't the I'm trying to think how to say this. Sometimes the moments where you show up and it's not perfect, or you show up and it's part of what you are committed to doing, those are the moments that keep you moving forward, even if it's not as fast as you had planned, right? And so sometimes I think about, is it Tim Ferriss that talks about the minimal max? Is it the minimal dose?
Minimum effective dose, yeah.
Minimum effective dose.
Yeah.
And so really saying that maybe the minimum effective dose isn't that you're going to do 1 hour of cardio. Maybe, depending on what your goal is, the minimum effective dose is 5-minute warm up, 10-minute like lifting routine, and a 5-minute walk at the end. So there can be smaller pieces than whatever is perfect. And perfect, right? We've talked about perfectionism a lot.
Yeah.
On here. But sometimes that's okay. And I will say, I'll admit, in my head, I thought, I'm going to keep this train rolling. I'm going to lift weights every morning. I'm going to keep going. But in my mind, even though I had planned and said, you're going to do this perfect and not deviate from your routine, because your routine was your routine and you've been doing it. Look at your calendar. You got your stars. But in all honesty, what I've committed to doing myself is to be more active. And so that includes not just sitting and puzzling, not just sitting and reading a book, even though I love doing those things and they fit into my life too. But being able to say, you know what, I actually was up and I was moving. I was deep cleaning the house, right? Which isn't as easy as just like, I'm going to do a little dust. I'm going to, right?
Yeah.
But like deep cleaning bathrooms of 2 teenage boys is, like people probably know, right?
We brought it up before, so let's move on.
We don't have to move. No, but yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes, even though it's not perfect, it's okay. Right?
Absolutely.
It's enough for the day.
I shared that with somebody today. They were talking actually about the very similar thing of, I said I was going to do this thing and I kind of just didn't hold myself accountable and I let it kind of go because I thought, nobody really cares anyway. Nobody's really watching.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, there's this thing that I've told you when it comes to like us starting this video and stuff.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking putting yourself out there and being seen or saying you're going to do this or that, right? Like, I'm going to work out every day or I'm going to do this, whatever it is. Nobody's really watching, therefore I'm not going to do it. Well, I said, I kind of flip that and I say, nobody's really watching, so I might as well try and fail a bunch of times because it doesn't matter because nobody's watching, and like the handful of people that are watching at the beginning, they don't mind that it's not perfect. And we all know nothing's perfect. Like, so having a standard and working towards it, that's good, and you can be disappointed in something not working out, but then you just do it again, right?
Right.
Like it's the more you test and experiment, the more you succeed.
Yeah. I think that's really good advice, I'm trying to remember who it is that says that you should aim to fail. And I think it might be Gary Vee.
I'm sure he's shared it.
Or Seth Godin,
I'm sure many people have said
just in general, that idea of not being afraid to fail because failing means you can learn.
Well, it's like integral to like the design thinking or whatever.
Yeah.
Is like that experimentation, which is always something that I've struggled with, but I'm seeking to embrace it as much as I can. Not always easy, but it's once you stop waiting, it you find yourself going to action more often. It's pretty fun and pretty amazing what you can get done.
Yeah.
And even if at the end you're like, well, I didn't get all of it done, like we tend to do. Let's say, like, well, I didn't get this done. It's like, but if you do go and look at all those little stars you put in your notebook, you're like, well, the to-done list. Have you heard of that?
No, what's the to-done list?
What's this sound like?
It's stuff that you've gotten done.
Yeah, so instead of the to-do list, it's the done list. Sorry. I said to done.
I kind of like to done. It's like Turducken.
Yeah, turducken.
Turducken? Yeah. I was like Turducken. That's not a thing.
No, I don't remember exactly where I heard it, but because I embrace lists, and I embrace the to-do list quite a bit. But obviously it was a podcast, I'm sure, and they're like, oh, well, instead of writing down all the things that you need to get done, just start keeping track of the things you've done. And I did it, I think, one day last week.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun because it wasn't like writing it down and then having like an empty checkbox next to it. It was me getting to. I think what I really liked about it was that it was me taking the time to reflect on the day versus what I tend to do is try to do everything I can, notice what I didn't get done, and then just come back again the next day and not acknowledge any of the wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it helped me acknowledge, like, oh, look at everything you did. And sometimes it is, I got groceries, I prepped food, the chores and stuff. But the more I acknowledge those things, the more I kind of feel a little more energized to come down and do more work and edit, a video and think of some other things to do that might not be the exact same way I've been doing them. Like, that's where I've been getting more energy of getting something down and then thinking, okay, now is this the best it can be? Or like, how could I make it better? That kind of taps into that perfectionism, but I'm not letting that take over. It's more of like, how can I keep iterating? So it's getting back more to that testing and experimentation of just giving things a chance and trying it versus constant process improvement.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get rid of that out of the back of my head of wanting to have it done the right way.
I don't think you will.
No, but it's not steering anymore.
Yeah.
It's more of the what could this be? Or hey, let's try using this font instead,
Yeah.
Creative stuff like that, like looking at how can it be more fun. And it doesn't really matter if at the end of it you don't like it. It's just like, well, okay, you found out that, it's like how many times did they figure out how not to make the light bulb, right?
Yeah.
So thankfully they did, because then they found the way that worked, And then eventually we got LEDs and all these other more efficient ways, so.
I feel like right now we're really leaning into that idea of the in between of what's happening between point A and point B and how we can not just let it happen to us, but really, I don't know if it's take control, but really have agency maybe in what that looks like and what strategies we're kind of using to make sure that we stay on track, like ditching perfectionism or making sure that we're recognizing what we are doing.
Yeah. It's like we don't have to be perfect, but we have to hold ourselves accountable.
Right.
Right. We don't have to be nasty to ourselves, but we can, we can show up with care for ourselves and not have like negative thoughts, but we also maybe don't let ourselves have like cereal for dinner kind of thing. Like,
what's wrong with cereal for dinner?
Taking care of yourself in multiple ways versus cutting corners that eventually come back and catch up to you and you get a cold kind of thing because you weren't drinking enough water and getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that's what happened to me. Oh, I'm gruff.
Yes.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I guess my question to you, to kind of bring it back to that concept of kind of A to B, what is B? What is the end? Is there an end?
No. It's an infinite. That's how I think of it. I think of it as, I've thought of this over this last week. This is why I need to reflect more and I need to journal, because I'll have these ideas and I'll write them down on a random piece of paper.
Yeah.
And I won't take it back and think of it. But we are where we are, and we have an idea of where we want to go. Whether, some sort of goal, right? And whether it's work or relationships, right, or a hobby, we set our sights, right? That's our aim, and we journey over there, and it turns out to be whatever it is, and then something else happens, and we're like, okay, now I'm going to go try that goal, and we go back over here.
Yeah,
and it's never, you're never just there. It's motion. We're always in motion. That's how I think of it. And like the only thing I can think of is that creates that figure eight.
Yep.
Because we're never in balance.
Right. I think that's important to recognize and just remember.
Yeah. I mean, if we are, it's for a blink of an eye, I would think.
The way somebody explained it to me before, I think we've talked about polarity mapping of kind of this either or choice.
Okay.
And how there's that figure eight between the two. So if you have work life, or work, like succeeding at work and succeeding at being at home with family, there's always you're toggling between those two, right? And it's just like breathing when you're inhaling and exhaling. So when you inhale, right, you're always going to exhale, but you have to keep inhaling. And so it's a constant flux back and forth. And so it's how do you hold those two truths and things that are important to you in one spot without having just inhaling all the time. Because if you inhaled a whole bunch of times, would you pass out? I don't know what would happen.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Same thing if you only exhaled, right?
Yep.
Like eventually you would pass out and hopefully.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You wouldn't have enough oxygen.
Right.
And if you hold your breath, you have too much CO2, I think.
Yeah. So either way, right, it's not good.
Correct. Yeah.
Either way, it's not good.
Yeah.
So it's the same with that ebb and flow.
Yeah, it just oscillates back and forth and through time. This is all over time. And I guess maybe with the breathing, you can get better. You can extend your rate, right? And you can holding your breath underwater, you can improve that. And I'm not necessarily thinking of that, but I'm thinking of like you can work on not being like as shallow a breather as we often. I think I've heard people like scientists say like we tend to be shallow breathers as people.
Yeah.
And we could extend that and kind of like just kind of flow a little more, and instead of like these kind of shorter breaths that we tend to take, there's something else there of being present, having a goal or an aim, and it's not like I can just wake up one day and say my only goal today is to work on the podcast. I mean, that might be a work goal, but there's so many other things I have to attend to, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the real reason you and I talk about this, because we have to be so many different things to different people.
And for ourselves too.
Yeah, exactly. Right? So I don't know if I answered anything you were asking there really, but it's actually, I guess that infinity thing, it comes back to the tools. Bill Stutz will bring that up again. And is it, the three certainties in life are uncertainty, pain, and constant work. And so when I'm feeling a little worn out or like I don't want to go shovel the snow,
yes,
I kind of remind myself, hey, there's nothing but constant work, and right now it gets to be manual physical labor. Get the shovel. There's only 4 to 6 more inches out there. We got way more snow than I thought. I should have got the snowblower going, but it was good to get out and move my body.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure that's no shock to people that moving from where you are towards where you want to go usually comes with like shaking things up and not doing the same thing every day. So the fact that it just randomly snows whenever it wants is kind of good for me.
Yeah.
It shakes it up and makes me not be so rigid.
Yeah.
So.
Thinking about the in between going from one place to another place, and that the end point might not be a firm end point, right? But kind of an evolving goal that continues to shift and be shaped by the activity we do in the in between.
Right. And like,
right?
You have a goal, and once you attain it, right? Well, you don't just stop. You find another one, or you find out that, oh, that's not really what I was going after, right?
Yes.
So it just kind of keeps going.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I like that, but I also think that it could be really helpful to try and think in a very tangible space.
Like what can we add to our done list? Is that
maybe.
What you're saying?
No, I mean, maybe.
Okay.
But I was just thinking, so you and I approach things differently.
Obviously.
Like, you like the done list. Haven't tried it before. I'm willing to try it. But thinking, like, what are some of those things that maybe you and I are going to try if we aren't to think about that goal as being completely infinite, but thinking about a more focused time period. Because right now, between Halloween and New Year, we are going to be continuously pulled between activity, showing up,
routines,
traditional activities that we typically don't do throughout the year, but it's special right now.
Yeah.
And so, are there things that over the next 4 weeks, you and I are going to do some strategies, maybe is a better way to say it, of how we might want to approach the next couple weeks? So we move into January at the beginning of the year, feeling grounded and ready to look at what is that goal or goals that we're doing, or that point B.
Right. Well, because we started talking at the beginning of the quarter, the fourth quarter, of saying like, hey, what can we do now so that we're not starting in January, but we're continuing,
right?
Or we're moving on from the thing that we finished, because why wait for some arbitrary date, which it's not arbitrary now, it's part of the culture, right? It's like, that's when you set your resolutions. That's when you buckle down. That's when you join the gym, right? But life happens and you get pulled this way and that on your way to what, the intention was. I'm like, how much weight can I lose before the new year? And like, well, so far the answer is not what I want. So, to be perfectly honest.
Thinking of those things, how are you going to show up for yourself in a way? What strategies are you going to use to make sure that you're feeling good about where you are in January?
Yeah.
So I know, like, one thing for me, the last several days have been filled with different things. My routine has been different than what it's been other weeks of what I've been building. But this week, I'm going to be working out 4 days in the morning, lifting. And so that's one thing from a strategy standpoint that I'm going to do. Because I know even if my weekends feel a little off, I can still build that consistency in my morning during the week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might sound like a broken record, but it comes back to my sleep, journaling. Like that should not have fallen off. It didn't need to. And I'm not sure why it did, except for that I had just a change in routine. And I probably wrote in like some of my other smaller notebooks. I have like stacks over here, like a million little notebooks. And then, yeah, for me, it's, well, hopefully it doesn't snow every single day because I would get activity, but that's not how I want to do it.
Right.
But that tends to be part of my personality is I don't do anything until it's like too painful, right? And so it's like, well, if I have to shovel, right, like then I'll get activity. But yeah, like the getting the activity, seeing you do it, hearing you talk about that you did it is really helpful. And so actually what I'm trying to say is like, yes, activity, but again, like that's like the broken record thing. But one thing that has, besides the journaling, that just fell off this week for a few days. But the thing that we noticed fell off for us as a couple is that we haven't been having calls during the week. And so I want to find time for us that works for both of us. And just having time to jump on a video call and connect a little more. Because when I do hear about what you've accomplished and when you hear about what I've accomplished, I think that'll really help us.
Yeah.
And that was something that we brought up with each other a while ago. It's like, we haven't really had a call during the week in a while. I'm like, yeah, we've been busy, and
sure. Well, and I think that I agree with you. That was one of the things that kind of the tangible things I was thinking is if we could build in like a call or two. We have a project coming up that we're working on. So we're going to be speaking, right, at a professional development day for some folks. And I'm really excited about that. But part of that is too, making sure you and I have a good plan and we're prepared because we want to show up as our best selves and do good work. And so that's exciting, but we need to also have the time to make sure that we show up authentically ourselves, but also are generous in how we're doing that.
Exactly.
So, that was the second thing that I wanted to share too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have another thing that you?
No, I think I said like 5 things. I mean, it's the same old stuff, so it shouldn't be a shock. Take care of yourself.
It's really important.
Show up for yourself so you can show up for others.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I started and where it ends for me, I guess.
Well, and you're obviously a big part of my network,
right.
Like my people. And so finding time where we can spend time together is really important too. I mean, I know over the last weekend we were together, but we were also together separate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes.
Well, it's like.
How do I explain that better?
It's like instead of playing, it's like a football analogy because it was football. Like we had one kid at one point, right? And so it was like we could double coverage. Then we had 2 kids, and then it was like playing man to man. And then if you have more, you have to start playing zone, which means if they come into your zone, you have to take care of it. But if it's in that person's zone, that's their problem kind of thing. And so it felt a little bit like that, where you and I were both drifting in and out of zones.
Yeah.
And kind of like giving each other a high five on the way by, and or like a little smile, like, I see you, like, yep, here we go. You're going that way, I'm going this way, we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
So finding that time to connect, and for no other reason except for, to check in, and that, we deserve to have that time together,
Yeah. I think there was one night this week, because we're going to host the Lefse making, and we want our house to be somewhat clean. It doesn't have to be spotless or anything like that. But I think we kind of did what we did when we had kids, is you took the night shift and I took the morning shift.
Yeah.
So you stayed up late cleaning, and I got up at like 6 a.m. I set an alarm on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And cleaned for several hours.
Yeah.
Right. And we were kind of two ships in a night. You slept later. I went to bed earlier.
Yeah.
You were cleaning when I wasn't cleaning, and I was cleaning when you were sleeping. Right.
Yeah.
So, I agree. Finding some time is really important. Keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've spend some time today, minus my nap, watching football.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's part of why we do this, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.